I've realized that this ultimate secret weapon to build crazy GPP and capacity for real life is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And today I'm going to walk you through exactly how I train through an entire week. The hybrid style system is exactly the tool that I use to help people all over the world who are over 40 to become stronger and more capable humans. But before we dive in, I want to share a quick announcement. At the end of January, I'm hosting a live webinar where I'm going to explain to you how Kettlebell Plus 4.0 works. 4.0 is our recent update. We always want to expand and improve our system. And I want you to learn how it works so you can harness the power of it immediately. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for the webinar. It's free. You find the link in the description. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe Stark here. Here's a quick outline of my weekly training schedule. On Monday, we program our workout of the week right on the spot. On Wednesday, I'm using heavy bell work, where I want to make sure that most of the load ends up overhead. On Friday, I'm using the same system like I'm using on Wednesday, but it's with moderate weights. And Saturday is usually the day where I either use my Lebe Stark Complex, the Joe Rogan workout routine, or one of our signature workouts of the week. Now that's the structure, but here's what changed and what clicked immediately just this week. The first big realization that I had was after returning to my old ENON method. A method that I acquired from Levi Marquardt and that I used to work out with from approximately summer 2024 until my Master of Sport Prep at the beginning of 2025. ENON stands for every 90 seconds on 90 seconds, lifting heavy bells overhead and allowing my central nervous system enough time to recover. I started building quality muscle again. I felt stronger, I felt better, and my sessions went back to the usual 30 minutes. Without accounting for the warm-up or the cool-down. After getting back to ENON, I was getting more results in a shorter time frame. But I have to admit that this only worked because I also changed my warm-up as well. I now dedicate a full 10 minutes timed to my warm-up. The first part of my warm-up is the mobility stuff, and the second part of my warm-up is to elevate the heart rate. The idea is not to exhaust myself, but to prime the body for heavy lifting. The third realization was a little bit of a painful one. I had stopped squatting for too long. And when I came back to my regular front squat routine, I realized how much strength I actually lost in my legs. And that experience was a wake-up call. When I looked at the numbers that I usually did before I stopped squatting, I was amazed. And now I'm slowly getting back to hit those numbers. Now with that context, let's break down the full week in its detail. Monday is where we design our workout of the week for ourselves, our VIPs in here in the gym, as well as for our members from all around the world using Kettlebell Plus. We build each session using our Big 10 framework. I believe in 10 most powerful kettlebell exercises that we have to include year-round. And then we rotate between single bell and double bell work. We select from our core hybrid style training methods, which stands for AMSAP, AMRAP, interval, traditional, for time, circuit, ladder, and EMOM or ENON respectively. In a future video, I'm going to explain these training sessions in detail. Just know this. I do the same thing, just a little bit different. And these training methods and the framework allows me to build powerful and most bang for your buck workouts. Now let's move to Wednesday. Wednesday is double bells, heavy weights, overhead almost all the time. The focus here is clear. Make sure you lift as heavy weight as possible overhead and make sure you don't rest too long and recuperate as fast as possible. In part 1, I'm using double 28s. I perform 5 jerk, 5 clean and jerk, 5 front squat, and 6 half snatch using double 24s. We complete 2 rounds of this block using the ENON pacing, which means every 90 seconds on 90 seconds. Part 2 is where we bring out the heavy guns, double 32s. Here I perform 4 to 5 jerk, 3 clean and jerk, 2 to 3 front squat, and 3 rounds of the Lebe Stark Complex with double 24s. Again, we complete 2 total rounds using the same ENON pacing. In part 3, I transition into bodyweight training. That includes 20 push-up, 15 squats, 10 pull-ups, and 8 dips for 2 rounds. Then I finish the session with a 2-minute burpee block. Friday is the same exact principle. We use the same exercises and we use the same training method. The only thing that is now different is the weight. Instead of using double 28s and double 32s, I'm using double 24s and double 20s. This allows me to accomplish 2 things. A, I work a little bit more on my strength endurance, because as you can see with the reps and the sets on screen right now, I'm doing less weight but more reps. But never confuse lighter weights and more reps with it being easy. And the second thing that it accomplishes is it allows my nervous system and my body to recover from the heavy sessions that I had 2 days ago. Now we arrive at Saturday. And Saturday, I'm cycling between different workouts. But the one workout that I want to show you today that I'm doing often right now is the Lebe Stark Complex. The complex combines one of my signature moves, the thrust jerk, with a long cycle and a half snatch. The complex runs on the interval system, which means I train for 40 seconds and then I rest for 40 seconds. The first part consists out of 10 rounds with double kettlebells. In my case, I'm using double 20s. Part 2 consists out of 10 rounds, again with a single kettlebell, in my case a 24 kg, switching sides each round and alternating sides in the final round. And if you want to know what type of kettlebell I'm using, it's the Pro Kettlebell, the best kettlebell on the market, period. And you can save 10% off your next purchase with the code in my description. All in all, I train 4 times per week. 90% kettlebells, 10% body weight, and a little bit of a mace sprinkled in to my warm-up. Here's the next thing that you have to do. Clean and press that like and subscribe button. Share with a friend who's interested in kettlebells. And if you made it this far, you have to join my free webinar coming up in a few weeks. In this webinar, I'm going to explain to you how Kettlebell Plus works. This is my online training system where we help beginners who are over 40 get strong, lean, and pain-free without going to the gym. And we use the exact training methods that I've explained to you that I'm using throughout my week in that system as well. We practice what we preach, and I want to invite you so you understand how the system works. It's 100% free, and I'm going to give you an offer that you can't refuse at the end of the webinar. So what are you waiting for? You have to sign up right now. You find the link in the description.